In today's video, we're building an 8-card GPU mining rig to mine Clore AI.
Where are my crypto miners at? Listen up. Finding an exchange to liquidate, convert, and trade your cryptocurrency without KYC is becoming rare in the United States. As a crypto miner, we value our privacy and staying anonymous, while the team at 𝐒𝐻𝑖VEOS has you covered. 𝐒𝐻𝑖VEOS supports some of my favorite mineable coins like Kaspa, Flux, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and many more. How many more? Let's just say there are 422 different options for cryptocurrency on 𝐒𝐻𝑖VEOS and growing every day. Ready for this? 𝐒𝐻𝑖VEOS understands the need as a miner to off-ramp your crypto for fiat to cover operating expenses. Well, 𝐒𝐻𝑖VEOS has you covered there too. Finally, if you're an avid trader, 𝐒𝐻𝑖VEOS has loads of features like a robust exchange, spot trading, derivatives, and loads more. Check out the link in the video description for 𝐒𝐻𝑖VEOS and get started by claiming your welcome rewards of 2,888 USDT today.
What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, Clore.AI, look at this. It is blowing up right now. Over the last month, it is hitting all-time highs time and time again. Right now, it's currently November 24th at about 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and we are at almost 10 cents. This is incredible. I bought in on Clore AI several months back, and it was an awesome purchase, but now I want to start mining it. So in today's video, we're going to be building an 8-card GPU mining rig. Let me show you what we're working with. All right, so let's take a look at what we are working with today. Now, these aren't brand new. Several weeks back, I went ahead and stripped out all my GPUs from all my rigs. I reviewed them. I decided ones to sell, others that I needed to buy, and others that I wanted to mine with. And these are ones I wanted to mine with. I do have several GPUs and hardware for sale over on my Discord. Go over and check it out. I'll put a link directly down below. And there is a hobbyist yard sale section. Go check it out. You guys can check out what I have for sale. So these are GPUs I decided to stick with that we have here for our 8-card build. We'll go over those in a minute. And then we have this Polo Miner case. Now, traditionally, a lot of you guys have the open frame rigs. I'm working with limited space, so density is very, very important. So I've gone the route of getting rid of all my open frame rigs, and I only have the server cases. Server cases definitely add some simplicity. They have better airflow, but they are more expensive. Now, Polo Miner itself, I don't even think is in business anymore, but I do have an alternative if you guys are interested. A lot of you guys can vouch for the 𝐵 cases. You get free shipping directly on Amazon. I'll put a link directly down below. But GPUs, let's take a look here. So we have 8 GPUs here. These are some of the popular ones. These are RX6600s, and these are the HellHound ones. These are made by PowerColor. And these are pretty sought after, to be honest with you. And the reason is because these actually light up like this blue color you see here. They light up that teal color. Nice thing is too is on these, the exoskeleton is actually like a hard plastic. It's not like your cheap plastic like something like here on these ASROCK ones. It just sounds cheap. These are definitely more solid. These are workhorse GPUs. So we have 4 of these. All PowerColor ones. I'll put links to these down below. See if I can find a good deal on these, especially right now during the holidays. So 4 of these bad boys, we're definitely going to put them next to each other. They're going to look really sharp. Now I do have the Eagles here, and I got some of these back during the Newegg Shuffle time period. These were super popular on Newegg Shuffle. Gigabyte Eagles, they work well too. Real easy to work on. We have 2 of those. And then finally, these guys here. And these were ones that I definitely got off of Amazon. And these are the ASROCK Challengers. Now, there's nothing wrong with these, but these definitely have a very much a cheaper feel to them. Look at the size of the heatsink on this side here because it doesn't have a back plate on this side versus like the Gigabyte. You can see it kind of has like that little window that you see there. But you know what? As much as I say these are cheapo ones, you know what? They get the job done. I don't have any problems with them, so I can't really complain. So those are our 8 6600s that we are going to be putting on Clore today. Those of you guys not familiar, Clore runs on the 𝐒𝐫 algorithm, and the nice thing is the 6600s kick ass on them. So what is our server case here? So we talked about it being a Polo miner. Well, what the hell's a Polo miner? So it's very much one of those knockoff brand server cases. It's not the Ferrari, we looked at the GPU Risers R8 or the Octo miners, but it gets the job done. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it's pretty simple. Let's take a look. So power supply here, 2400 watt power supply, and it does go to, everything is wired directly into the power supply for our PCI cables. Now you'll notice our PCI cables a little bit different. They run directly into the motherboard here. And then you have these little short cables that run out of the motherboard and into the GPUs. Some people have issues with this design. I've never had a problem with it. Any of these cases that do this. Underneath of our power supply, we have our CPU as well as our memory. And our hard drive here is the mSATA hard drive right here in the middle. And if you're curious on like how we're going to get HIVEOS on this, I actually use this little adapter over here. It works awesome. You just plug it right into it, screw it in like you would into the slot, and plug it into your computer, and it almost sees it as like a USB drive. Great adapter, under 20 bucks. I'll put a link down below if you guys are interested in that. It does have fans directly on the front here. These are those high CFM fans, none on the back like some of the other cases that we've seen. And this one, look at this. The fan adjustment knob is inside here directly on this controller. This is kind of a fan controller. You can see all of the different spots for fans. You can actually add more if you're interested. It's fed power right here, but the knob's inside the case, which is really silly. There really should be like a hole right here and then a knob to go ahead and turn. I think on later model, the second generation of the Polo miners, it has like a little LCD screen and the knob's on the outside, which would make sense. So every time I want to adjust this, I have to take off the case lid and then go ahead and adjust it, which is a pain in the ass. So other than that, that's it. That is our rundown of our hardware for today. So what I'm going to do to get started first is I'm going to go ahead and slot all my GPUs, and then I'm going to get my PCI cables, which are so easy and simple to go ahead and connected, and we'll get mining. Man, oh man, that looks so good. 6600s are so easy to work with. So they're not super thick, which makes it great. Look at that spacing that you have between all these, which is awesome. And then on top of that, it's just one 8-pin. Now, I did go ahead and zip tie my tails. Some of you guys might be entirely against zip ties. Guess what? Zip ties over Velcro all day long. I love zip ties. But yeah, I mean, check it out. Turned out really, really clean. We did our HellHounds down here, and then we got into our Gigabytes, and then finally our ASROCks on this end. Now I did go ahead and get HIVEOS installed. You can see our mSATA is down there. If you guys are like, how the hell do you do that? I don't really understand. How do you get HIVEOS on there? I have a full guide, it's like a 30 to 45 minute guide step by step on how to add HIVEOS to a USB drive, to a solid state drive, to an mSATA drive, and it walks you through perfectly for beginners I'll put a link directly down below to that because I know that'll definitely benefit you guys if you're doing a GPU mining rig build right now. All right, so let's get this plugged in our room next door and let's get it powered up. All right, moment of truth. We'll make sure it boots here. Look at that, looks so good. We are ready to go. Do have this power supply, just one of our C13s here, as well as Ethernet. Goes right into a triplet PDU, and we do have a watt meter right there. We have a 30 amp 240 volt down here. We'll never really use it. Oh, these are the cards, guys, that I am selling. So if you are interested, once again, in the Discord. All right, let's flip our switch here. All right. And away we go. Look at that, we got our blue glow of these. Let's see if I can get a good angle of them. Oh, they're starting to come up a little bit at a time, heck yeah. Look at that, oh, I didn't realize that one had RGB on it. That's cool looking. All right, let's go ahead, we're gonna jump over. Oh, here's that little knob for the fans. Let's see if we can listen. Woo! We do not need them that high. I'm gonna turn them like all the way down so like they're barely spinning. All right, let's head over and check out HIVEOS. Alrighty guys, so we're over in HIVEOS and we can see our Greninja rig is up and running. We name all of our rigs off of Pokemon, myself and my kids. So we got Greninja here, we got Lugia as well as Mewtwo. Lugia is a 3070 rig, 12 of them, and Mewtwo is a Neoxa rig, 6700 XTs. So let's go into Greninja here. We can see, thankfully, all of the GPUs did load. All 8 of them, which is awesome. It's always the worst when you get a build and like 1 or 2 doesn't show up the first time. If you guys do have that, power it down. Go reseed all your GPUs. Check all of your PCI cables. Reboot. That'll most likely solve it for you. All right, so what is next? Well, before we go configuring this in Hive, you need 2 things. The first thing is you need a Clore address. You need to set up your wallet. And I'm a firm believer in core wallets. So if you're interested, you can go over to Clore.AI at the very top, click on wallet, and it's going to go ahead, and if you scroll down, you have a few different options. You can go with Windows or Linux here. If you click on Windows, it's actually really simple. Personally, I use a Hyper-V host, and I won't go too much into detail on this as I know this might be a little bit over some of your heads and others of you guys is right up your alley. I use a Hyper-V host, and what that is it allows me to take a server, you can run this on a computer too, and create individual virtual computers. And I have a virtual computer for every single core wallet, entirely separate. I do not recommend that you go ahead and take one computer and put all your core wallets on it. Why? Because if one core wallet is compromised, it could steal crypto from all of your core wallets. So I have each of these separated on their own virtual computer, and when I'm not running them, they're entirely powered off, which is 99% of the time. So this VM here I have up and running. It has Windows 10 on it, and all that's on here is Clore. The Clore.AI's wallet. And so I installed it right off the website. Here it is right here. And you can go to receive and grab your address. Second thing that we're going to need is a pool. A pool is where you take your GPU mining rig and you mine to it because it provides you jobs. And the pool goes ahead and pays you out. So we talked about needing our wallet address. Keep note of that. But now we need to find a pool. So over here at mining pool stats, we're going to type in Clore, hit enter, and it's going to find us all different pools that are out there. Take a look, see where kind of your avenue is. I wouldn't recommend always going to the one at the top because that really is the one with the most hash rate, over 52%. I'm actually going to come down here, and most likely what I'm looking at and kind of deciding on is maybe Wooly Pulley or maybe K1 Pool. But for today's video, we're going to go ahead and do Wooly Pulley and walk you guys through it. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the Clore.AI wallet to HIVEOS. So once you're in HIVEOS at your rig, click HIVEOS, go back into your farm, go to wallets at the top, and go to add wallet. At the very top, if Hive has the ticker for it, you can start to type in the name of it, Clore, and there it is. Awesome. And now we need to go ahead and grab our address. So I'm going to copy that, paste it in there, and I'm just going to type in Clore.AI core wallet, just something to identify it as. And we're going to hit create. Awesome. So now we're going to go back to our workers. We're going to go to Greninja here, and we're going to go to flight sheet. And inside the flight sheet, we're going to create a new flight sheet.
for the ticker, we're going to type in Clore again, which is awesome. Our wallet, there's the one that we just added. And now we're going to go to pool. And there's lots of pools listed in here. And pick the one that fits best for you. So we talked about using Wooly Pulley. Well, Wooly Pulley is not listed in here. That's completely okay. At the very bottom, go to Configure in Miner. Now for a miner, we're going to select Team Red Miner, which is awesome for two things. One, for AMD GPUs, and second, for 𝐒𝐫 algorithms, which is what Clore AI runs off of. So we're going to select Team Red Miner, and we're going to click the button that says Set Up Miner Config. Now, 𝐒𝐫 is already set as the algorithm, but we need a wallet and worker template. So there's this information bubble, click on that, and go to Wallet and Worker. That'll go ahead and fill those variables in. Next, jump down to Pool URL. So let's go back over here to Mining Pool Stats. We're going to click on Wooly Pulley, and it shows all the different projects that Wooly Pulley supports. Scroll to the bottom, and here's Clore. Click on the connection button, and now it's going to ask you, do you want to solo mine or do you want to PPLNS, which is your traditional pool mining? Click on that, and there we go. It's going to give us our address. So for me, we're going to go ahead and pick USA, and it gives you the copy button right next to it. We're going to click on that, which is perfect. Now, if you want it to give you your region for you, just click region at the bottom, pick US. You can also select your miner here. Check this out, Team Red Miner. You can enter your wallet address, and it'll actually build that batch file for you if you're running on Windows. But for us, we're going to stick with HIVEOS. So I'm going to copy the pool there, go back to HIVEOS, paste it directly into pool URL, and you're done. We're going to hit apply, and down below, we're going to name this. So for me, I always like to name these with some details that help me determine the rig this is for or the cards that this is in. So I'm going to do 6600, and then I'm going to do a dash, and then we're going to do Clore, and then the miner, Team Red Miner. Just an easier way to identify this. And we're going to click Create Flight Sheet. Once that's finished, we're going to go back to Workers. We're going to go to Greninja, and now we're going to click Flight Sheet, and we're going to apply this flight sheet. There it is, Apply. Now, we're not going to do any overclock settings yet. We want to just get this up and mining because overclock settings can absolutely create a hurdle for you. So let's start out just getting these GPUs mining and knowing the rig is working properly before we go ahead and apply overclock settings. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes, and take a look. We are up and mining currently right now. Let's go ahead and refresh our browser here, and you can see all of our 6600s are mining. They're at about 13.7 for the hash rate, but look at those watts. It's almost about 100 watts per GPU. So the total rig is about 800 watts total, and that's not even at the wall. That's just directly within the software, which can be questionable, especially if it's on an octo miner, things like that. So what do we have to do next? Well, we know our rig mines, we know it's working on Clore. We need to get some overclock settings in place. So a good place to start is to go over to hashrate.no, and on the left-hand side, click on GPUs and type in the GPU that you're working with. We're working with the 6600. Don't mistake it for the 6600 XT. Go ahead and click on that and go down to Clore. Here, it'll give us some recommendations that it does recommend. And with these overclock settings, what we can do is it can get us to 14.7, so a higher hash rate, but down to 63 watts, which is fantastic. So let me get these overclock settings in place, and let's see how our rig does. All right, check it out. We got our overclock settings in, and we're looking really, really good. 1487, 1489. It is bouncing around a little bit, but the watts, take a look at those watts. 59, 57, 55, 54. I love it. Significantly less than where we were. Now, it does say in the software 456. Do you believe it? Well, you shouldn't. You should really look at the wall. And so for me, taking a look at the wall, we're at 698 watts. So don't let what's in the software, be the Bible and be the truth. You really need to see what's at the wall. If you guys don't have a watt meter, I'll put a link to one directly down below. Will help to get you started. I do love the meter box ones with the Drox meters in those. I'll leave a link to that down below as well. I've really come to like them, and the fact that you can plug them in with like a PDU and things like that. So we're mining, awesome, but let's make sure it works on the pool, make sure that things are registering. So let's go back over to Wooly Pulley, and we're going to scroll down to Clore, click on Clore, and at the top right hand corner you can enter in your wallet address, search, and there it is. Now the data is going to be a little bit behind. A lot of these pools update every 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So, but what is valuable here that we can see is we have one worker up and running, and it shows our hash rate. Now, don't be concerned about 30-minute, 3-hour, 24-hour right now. I'd really return back to this about 24 hours later, and it'll give you some really good metrics. And you'll start to see the balance up top start to kind of stack up. Also, if you're a new miner, you're not getting paid to your wallet instantly. Most pools have a minimum. Take a look, research into it, so your balance will build up and then it'll be paid out directly to your wallet. So don't get concerned and come back into the comments a day later and go, I'm not getting paid for anything I'm mining to. Patience. Check the balance and you'll go ahead and be able to see exactly how you're doing from there. And there's probably some configuration on the pool. There's a little gear in the upper right hand corner. You can kind of adjust some items up there. Oh, they have a dark mode. Heck yeah. Just noticed that. All right, guys, that is going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully, like me, you guys can begin to start to stack your Clore wallet. Now, wish I would have got into Clore AI months back. I'm thankful that I did go ahead and buy about $500 in Clore back when it was down at the bottom there. But regardless, I'd like to get a rig on there. I like to diversify my GPU mining rigs. I talked about a lot today. I also referenced a lot of links and a lot of parts. I'll put those directly down below to be helpful for you. If you guys enjoyed today's video and you want to be notified when I drop my next GPU mining rig build, go ahead and click that bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.